Start your week smiling with your friends, Kathy Zant and Michelle Frechette. It's time to get ready for some weekly motivation with WP Motivate. Happy Friday, Kathy.
Oh, happy Friday, Michelle. The best
It is good to
of
see
the
you.
best of Fridays.
If you are listening and not watching on YouTube, you are really missing out because it's Tiara week and we both have on tiaras. I have on one of my minis. It's kind of like a wheat design, a very blingy wheat design. And Kathy has her new tiara on. I think it's rose gold with pink.
It
I'm not,
is, yes.
it looks very lovely.
Styling.
It serves you. It serves you. It's heavy, you said. So it's like, what did you say to me before? You're like, you understand why the queen has to stand or sit so straight up and down?
Yes. There's important things on top of their head and must stay still and not move
The
your
crown
head too
jewels
much.
cannot slip.
Yes. But, with everything I've been through with the husband and everything, people always say, oh, well, you're putting jewels in your crown, the whole biblical thing or whatever. And so I'm racing for that. I'm taking the jewels now.
We talked about that in our episode last week, which is why you have a tiara on top of your head now.
Yes. And this tiara came to me. Thank you to Michelle. Michelle, I didn't even know, I was like, I didn't order anything from Amazon. What's this? And I'm like, oh, as soon as I opened it, and she had messaged me letting me know that something was on my doorstep, but I didn't see the message but as soon as I opened it, it was like, I know who sent me this. It's perfect. Thank you.
You needed one too. I like to joke because I have I don't know, 10 tiaras now. Some of them are plastic, some of them are here's my I have a McDonald's one that's a Wonder Woman crown that doesn't even actually fit me because it's for a child. I've given some away. I gave one to my mother on her 70th birthday, who she actually wears it every year on her birthday all day, which is I just love that. But I have all these tiaras and I never won a beauty pageant. It turns out you can just buy these on Amazon. So I do, and I love them. I may have a few more at home. Now I don't have a mirror with me today, but I just want to hold this up. Let's see. Can you see? That's you.
Yeah.
That's you. I'm holding up the mirror to you today because we talked about that last week.
Yes.
You are phenomenal, and you and your team pulled off a fantastic event yesterday. And I just wanted to give you all the praise that's due for Cadence Amplify yesterday, which is just an amazing event. At the end of last week's episode, you asked me if I would be willing to speak. You had an open slot, and I was like, yes, I will. And I talked about podcasting, and I was super grateful to be part of it. And the audience was really involved. They asked good questions, the whole thing. I didn't get to listen to a lot of it during the day, and I am definitely going to go back and listen to the episodes or the sessions when you have them out on YouTube, broken out. But it was phenomenal. So yeah, all the praise is due. And I just wanted to hear from the back end of it. All I could picture all day was you, the guy at the Oscars, go camera one, brighten the lights on 3, whatever I don't know what they do with the Oscars, but I was picturing you pulling all the strings.
Well, I have good people behind me and a good product to talk about and a great community to pitch in. The WordPress community, whenever you have an event that's about WordPress, everybody shows up. It's just the community comes to support you. The community comes to learn and network and have fun. And to do, I started this idea with, okay, let's just showcase people in the Cadence community. And Ben actually was like, well, let's talk about everything people need in order to be really successful with WordPress. And I'm like, oh, even easier. I don't have to go real niche on this. I could do this with my eyes closed.
This whole thing doesn't have to be block-based.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, okay. I know exactly who I want for security. I just made friends with Dustin Heil, who is on, his goal this year is to be the most helpful person in WordPress on Twitter. And he and I have struck up some conversations, and he's really smart and is sharing all of his knowledge. Really, really smart guy. I don't know that he's been really active in the WordPress community, but I think, I wanted to give him this got him out of his comfort zone. He thanked me later for getting him out of his comfort zone. And he was so great. He was really nervous at first, but by the end of it, when all the questions started coming in, he's like so helpful and so great. And to be able to give someone like that a platform to support them and amplify their voice, it's a dream. Bette Hannon talking about accessibility,
Oh my
you
gosh,
know,
she's amazing. She is
she's
amazing.
so amazing.
And
So
can I just say,
amazing.
I
I
love
mean,
her voice. Her voice is so distinctive, and I could listen to it hours on end.
yes. And she was just, I just poked my head in, because I'm like running the stream on track 1. And so I
Yeah.
poke in and see what's happening on track 2. Hannah Rittner, amazing human being, had
Yes.
track 2 just covered. I had scheduled one of our support people to like be support for her so that he could help her drive stuff, but he got sick and couldn't finish out the day. So she's like, I got this. And she did.
And
She
she
did
did. Oh
so
my gosh.
well.
It was phenomenal. I was in
A
track
rock
too,
star.
and she and I, we were joking beforehand. Like, I call it the green room, right? We're really just not on screen at
Yeah.
that time. And I'm like, this music sucks. Like that little, like, that I don't even like, it was like 70s music or whatever.
Yeah.
And she's like, then she's like, oh, it's like really the best I could find. And I'm like, oh man, I just insulted her. I'm like, oh, it's not that bad. But I'm gonna
Yeah.
start
There
bopping my
was,
head. She's like, go for it. We just had a lot of fun.
that's so awesome. Yeah, we didn't, of course, the dog has decided it's now is the time to kill the stingray. So I'm going to take that away from him real quick.
Oh no. No, but Hannah was amazing. She like, talk about professional. She was awesome. The stingray.
The stingray, the very loud stingray.
Is his looks like he's been seen better days.
Yes, yes. Yeah, Hannah was amazing though. She did great, and she's such a rock star and such just a radiant being. And she, she's a midwife. She's like
Oh,
the
I didn't know
first
that.
person that like little beings, little humans. She's one of the first people that these little beings see, and I think that's amazing.
She gets
So
to welcome
yeah,
them to the world. I love that. Talk about hello
isn't that great?
world.
Yeah, exactly.
I always thought that'd be a great thing for a onesie, like hello world on a little baby outfit. Perfect, right?
Yeah, that is perfect.
And can I just also say, and he always praises you and me, but Maestro, wow, what a talk he had. It was fantastic. I did listen to about the last half of his when I was doing other things and trying to multitask as best as I could. And he always gives shouts out to you and me for reaching out to him, but he doesn't need us. He is a rock star in his own right. So
Yes.
absolutely, talk about a phenomenal person. What a great human being.
Can you hear him? Can
No,
you hear
I
him?
don't. I see your reaction,
Okay,
but I
good.
don't hear the dog.
He's like,
I love
what?
it.
I was working on that. I
Want my
All
stingray
right,
back.
we're gonna throw it. We're gonna throw it to the other side of the room, and you're gonna go get it. Go get it. Go get it. There we go.
What's your dog's
So
name
annoying.
again?
That's Milo. I've got 2
Milo.
dogs. I've got Milo, who's the puppy, the dachshund, and then Bodhi, who's the golden retriever, and he's older and much more mellow. But yeah.
So this is completely unrelated to anything, but I'm going to tell you that in my head, every dachshund is named Norman because they all look like they should be named Norman. So like if I meet a dachshund, I'm like, you're Norman to me, and I'm gonna forget your name because you all look like Norman, even the girl ones.
Yeah.
I know it's terrible, but that's just the way it is.
That is so funny. Yeah, like, oh my gosh, why do you bring it back over here?
Because you threw it, he wants you to do it again. But so just to reiterate, it was great. And you were telling me a little bit before we started recording today that one of the things that makes a successful event like that is that you're so well connected, right? So having spent and being connected is not something that just happens. And like we talked about last year, it's been a long week. Like we talked about last week, it's not just that you're lucky to know people. You have worked hard in the industry to do networking, to be able to have success in things like creating events and doing things with marketing. So talk a little bit about that, because
it's been, well, when I first got into WordPress, I had no idea. When I got into the community, I didn't know who was the expert on performance or who was the expert on SEO or any of that stuff.
Sure.
I didn't know the people. It took some time for me to get to know sort of the lay of the land of like who was the expert. And I know like maybe 3 or 4 security people, but Robert Rowley from Patchstack just put out this amazing report that really looked at, the state of WordPress security in a very unique way. And I wanted to highlight that, and I wanted to give him voice. So it's like being able to know those like little nuanced things. It's not something that somebody can just like type up on a sheet for you and say, you have to, it requires time, investment of energy, getting to know people, establishing relationships. And that's what makes really a good event. And, I was very lucky to be on the WordCamp Phoenix team for 2 years and watching how they did things. I owe a lot of yesterday's success to what I've learned from Carol Stambaugh, Raquel, Dave Ryan, the entire team there that really, Matt Clancy. We get to see them next week.
I'm so excited. I know. We should record our podcast live from Phoenix next week. Let's do it. I'll bring a microphone. We'll do it through our computer, the phone, or whatever. We'll figure it out. But yes, that'll be fun.
Yes.
But I haven't seen you in years in person.
I know. It's going to be kind of weird, I think, at first, but it's going to be great. Very much looking forward to it. But you learn these things over time. It's not something that somebody can just say, okay, here's the playbook on how to run a successful event.
Oh, for sure.
There's a lot that goes into it. So, I mean, this event, Cadence Amplify, I pretty much, Hannah helped me a lot. Ben, obviously, not so much, but obviously, I had to put him at the end there, like as the capstone for the whole event. And he just was joking about that. I didn't want to be, he's a dev. He wants to create great product, but also people want to hear from him, like his vision of what product he's creating.
He did a great job. I listened to his, I was working, but I was listening. So I didn't get to see the demo, but I'll watch it later. But he handles it like a pro. He does a great job presenting.
He's great. He just needs a team around him to help him create that. And he's got such a great team behind him. I will include myself in that. Is like all of my experience has led to this point of being able to really give back to WordPress with highlighting what Cadence can do, but also, pulling people from the Cadence community, from the community at large, and to pull this off. And then I need to shout out Sailor. So the website, I just like kind of popped up the whole schedule. Like, all right, it's all there. Sailor, hey, can you make this a little prettier for me? Sailor,
good job.
Yeah. Nathan on This Week in WordPress was like, oh my gosh, this is such a nice event page. I'm like, I take zero credit. I put the content there. But the cool thing about Cadence is you can pop all the content there and then hand it over to a designer. There's no figmaing and it has to be this way and then hand it off to the dev. It's almost like you can have the marketing lady put all the content there of like, this is kind of how I think it should lay out. And then a designer can come in and tweak the blocks to make it look better. And that's exactly what they did. I love it. Pretty darn good.
It looked phenomenal. Absolutely. You and I are heading to Phoenix next week. We're both going to be there. We're both speaking. You're speaking on security, I think. And I'm speaking on community.
Yes.
And I'm going to do a shameless plug if that's okay. I'm also doing the same selfie challenge that I did at WordCamp Asia. I'm doing a selfie challenge. And I reached out to some businesses. This is what I said. I said, so my selfie challenge at WordCamp Asia raised $1,250 to Big Orange Heart. I had only pledged to raise $500. And I'll tell you what, InstaWP said, I'll give you 50% of that too. And they donated $250. And then out of the blue, Carl Hancock from Gravity Forums posted on Twitter that he doubled it. So I was like, we raised $1,250. But I can't personally fund that every single WordCamp. So I reached out to them. I said, I'm reaching out to a select few companies to meet that challenge at WordCamp Phoenix. $5 a selfie with me, capped at $500, which is tax-deductible donation to Big Orange Heart. And what did they think? Would they support that? And then, of course, I would also be tweeting about the companies that did it. So listen to this. Rocket.net is going to match it at $500. Nice. Do $500. Ninja Forums, $500. Termageddon already gave their $250. WS Forum already gave their $250, and Weglot pledged $250. So we're looking at, I can't do math in my head, $1,750.
Amazing. And you're not even there yet.
I'm not even there yet. So, so I'm excited. So all you got to do is come up to me. I'm everywhere. Just come take a picture with me, post it, tweet it out with hashtag Michelle and me, and it'll get counted. And hopefully if we can get 100 of them, we can make some money for Big Orange Heart.
I love it. That's so amazing. I
Yeah.
love how your generosity and your kindness gets recognized and attracts in other people to contribute as well,
It's
which
fun, right? It completely surprised me.
it
It was
is,
exciting.
which I'm going to segue into your generosity and your kindness mentioned in this great article on Rochester First, which
Oh,
is
that's
like
one of
the
our local
location.
news stations.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. And I saw your article. I think you shared this on Twitter. Kindness
I did.
is Hilton Woman's superpower. And I just wanted to shout you out
Oh, thank
and
you.
congratulate you on being recognized for everything that you do. It's just,
Thank
I
you.
thought it was just so cool. I mean, yeah, it's just local and everything, but still, it's local. It's
Well, I'll tell
important
you
to
what,
have.
there's 4 finals. There were 80 people nominated, so I've gotten some information from them. 80 people nominated, 4
Yeah.
finalists. Jeff from Give WP nominated me, which is super nice. And whoever of the 4 of us wins actually goes to LA for this big ceremony thing. And I'm like, wow, I mean, yes, it's an honor to be nominated, but damn, I really want to win. But also, they get $1,000 to give to the charity of their choice. So if I do win,
Wow,
Big Orange Heart's $1,000 richer right there. So it's
that's
exciting.
amazing.
Yeah. So
That is
thank
so
you. Yeah.
cool.
It is exciting, and it's like I posted about it on Twitter, and it feels a little self-serving, like breaking my arm, patting myself on the back. But when you get that kind of recognition, I think you should share it. So
Yeah.
I did. But
Well, yeah, and it's not like, you're telling everybody to like stop what you're doing and pay attention to me. It's not like that. It's just like, hey, look, I'm being celebrated. This is kind of nice, isn't it? And
yeah.
same type of thing with like the Cadence Amplify is like
Yep.
I didn't do it. Well, like you didn't like go out and say, okay, I need to have this. And, it's like people recognize what you do. And I
Yeah.
didn't do Cadence Amplify in order for me to have a voice. I did it to amplify everybody else's voice, the
Mm-hmm.
speakers, the people who are attending, people in the Cadence community, people who are brand new to WordPress and just like, oh
Yeah.
my gosh, there's so much to learn. What am I even doing here? We
Yes.
got you. We got you covered. And it's
Yes,
all
we
about
do.
like uplifting other people and to be able to celebrate you, because that's what you're doing is you're using your connections and people's recognition. You're not serving yourself, you're serving others. And that serving others, it just such good karma.
Yeah,
Jewels
thank
in
you.
our crowns.
Jules in our crowd. If you watch the video on the link that I posted on Twitter too, you'll also see not only Jeff but Allie Nimmons, because they recorded us recording a podcast for Underrepresented in Tech, which was super cool too. So she sent that to her
Awesome.
mom. She's like, "Look, mom, I'm on TV in Rochester, New York."
That's so great.
It's a lot of fun.
That's
Oh,
so
so
funny.
congratulations all around. We talked about last week. Sometimes it's okay to say, look at the good stuff I'm doing in the world, right? It's okay to do that. And it's definitely okay to hold that mirror up to other people as I hold my hand
Yeah.
up like there's a mirror in it. And say, I see what you're doing, and I think you're doing a phenomenal job. So, to that point, Kathy, everything you're doing is great, but absolute kudos to you and your team on the event yesterday. And I can't wait to see those videos broken out into sessions so that I can watch them in bite-sized pieces
Yeah, there's
online.
timestamps on it right now, but I've got I mean there's like 7 hours and 6 hours
Yeah,
of.
I saw that. It's a lot. It's a
And the
lot,
cool
but
thing
it's good.
is like because in my tracks it was like I figure okay, they'll do 30-40 minutes and then we'll just have a few questions and then can take a break and just like, take the
Yeah.
dog out, that kind of stuff. Man, I'd get in these conversations and then it's like, all right, the next speaker's here.
Gotta
Oh,
go. Segue in. Cross
yeah.
my legs so I don't wet myself. But yeah.
Yeah, I'm so sorry I asked all these questions, but I'm gonna have to use that hook thing to pull you off stage. It was but it was so much fun.
That's
Hey,
great.
at the end of it, I was like, hey Hannah, let's do it again next month. Maybe not next month, but definitely we're gonna do it again.
You should,
Definitely do it again. I
absolutely.
think in the fall will be, I think Cadence is going to be just what everything I'm seeing coming down the pike. Not even the stuff that Ben showcased yesterday. Everything that I know, like insider story. Cadence is going to be a very different product. Not different, but more. There's just so much coming. It's going to
Mhm.
be even more exciting when we do this again in the fall. So we're going to have you back.
Oh, I would love it. I'll have to think of a new topic, but I will love it for sure.
Awesome. Great.
Well, I will see you next week in Phoenix. Everybody, next week we will be publishing from Phoenix. We hope you stay motivated this week, and we will see you soon. Bye.
Bye.
This has been WP Motivate with Kathy Zant and Michelle Frechette. To learn more or to sponsor us, go to WPMotivate.com.